Hi everyone, my name is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a makeup look. It's kind of a get ready with me, and don't mind the baby, I am wearing a baby. I finally figured out how to use my sling and I went out and watered the plants, so it was awesome. So I've got my iced coffee. This is a Starbucks iced coffee that I made myself, and I'm going to get into my makeup. I'm so excited. So I'm going to use Jeffree Star's Bloodlust palette again today just because I've only showed it once on my channel and I really want to get back into using it because purple is my favorite color. If you've been here and watched my channel and watched any of my makeup tutorials, you know that I love purple. So we're going to get started and I am going to prime. So I've already done my skincare routine. Remember, everybody doing their makeup, watching my video, skincare is one of the most important steps before makeup. And as well, primer too. Always use a primer. Even if you're not using a foundation, primer is essential. So I'm using the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. I'm just going to use my fingers for this step because I'm actually going to go in with a makeup brush. I think I've talked about this before. I've changed my technique a little bit when it comes to makeup, and I think I've just gone a little bit lighter with my makeup, and not so much for like an everyday application. Like, I can still do crazy eye looks and I still love lipstick, although I do find myself wearing nudes and beiges a lot. And I've actually been loving the kind of neutral eye look lately. But I want to get into creating some really funky eye looks, especially over summer, because that's kind of like the most fun time, other than Christmas, when you're doing holiday looks. It's the most fun time to wear makeup. So what I'm going to do is use a kind of like a fluffy brush. I'm not really going to talk about the brushes. I will try to leave all the makeup listed down below. I'll still like mention what I'm using, but I really want to do a haul, and I am using one of the products from my haul in this video, so I haven't done the haul yet. But I'm going to use my Becca Skin Love Weightless Blur Foundation in Olive. This has become my new favorite foundation, you guys. I love it. I'm just blown away by how good it is. So I'm actually going to use the back of my hand, even though I don't really ever do that, but I'm going to. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the brush and just blur it into the skin, and really only where I need it. So I use the lightest coverage. I don't want to cake it on my face. So not that I'm going to go into any crazy makeup tips here, but the whole point of foundation is not to make it look like you're wearing a mask. The whole point of it is to get your skin all the same shade from like your forehead to your chin, and even blending it down your neck a little bit and along your jawline. That's especially important. And you might not even need a whole pump. So if your foundation comes in the pump, you might not even need a whole one. So I have been known with certain foundations to use up to 4 pumps. I actually, you know what, I love a matte finish, but I also really like the look of a dewy finish. I just don't really necessarily like the feel of a dewy finish. So I trick that, like the look of it, I trick it and use powder products so with a little bit of glow. And I do like to use setting spray after the fact. But I don't like a lot of cream products because I find they slip and slide around my face, even if I just put a little bit on. So I prefer to use powder products, but I do a very light amount because if you overdo it, you really notice the wrinkles, and I don't want that. I don't want that look today. So next, I am actually going to apply concealer first, and then I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I know I just finished saying I don't like a whole bunch of like cream products that are really glowy, and that one is, but that's okay. So I'm actually going to go half and half with my Tarte Shape Tape. This one is in light neutral, and my Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer. My little star broke off the top, so I'm so sad. I'm going to buy a new one of this one. This is my favorite color. It's C14. It's very yellow based, so if this is neutral, this is more like sand, I guess. And I'm really not going to use too much here. And I like to blend this in with my fingers. I usually use my ring finger. So I'll put a little bit of this one underneath. And I just take my ring fingers and blend it in. So the warmth of your finger helps to blend it. And this time I'm going to stay away from my lid. So it did brighten up my under eye, but I still have kind of like a shadowy look, especially on this side. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. And I'm going to go in with my Hollywood Flawless filter. And I'm just going to add some to my nose, my cheekbones here, chin, cupid's bow, and on my forehead. And I will use the same brush that I used for my foundation to blend this in. And I'm just going to use the slightest amount of powder to set my under eyes. I'm just going to use this soft like blend brush here to add some powder. I'm going to go in with my Beige Jeffree Star Magic Star powder. It smells like smoked cotton candy. It smells so good. And I'll put a little bit around my nose and just a little bit up on my forehead. Good. And the rest of the face, I'm just going to keep kind of glowy and natural looking. All right, so next, I think I'm going to go ahead and do eyebrows. So I'm going to use my Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown and the Dip Brow Gel as well. So I use the pencil just to shape my brow. It kind of looks like I have to trim them soon. So I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and just run over my brow slightly with my Dip Brow Gel. And next, we will go in with some bronzer. So for this, I like to use a big fluffy brush. This is my Large Powder F30 by Sigma. And I will be using my Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. It has a little bit of shine to it, or a little bit of shimmer, I guess, but it is one of my favorite bronzers. So I usually add this to the high points of my face to make it look like I was in the sun, but I actually was not. Ta-da! Okay, so next I want to use a blush palette today. So I'm actually going to use my Tarte Tartelette book because I haven't used this in a while and they've got some great colors. It gives you like this huge variety. It does have the highlighter and the bronzer, but the rest are all blush. So I think I'm going to stick to these two down here. Or maybe these two. I like both of them. I love to mix my blushes, obviously. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and mix the two colors. So then my next step, I'll add highlighter at the very end. I'm going to go ahead and do eyes, I think. Yes, let's do eyes. So I'm going to prime my lids with this little tiny sample of Anastasia eye primer. I'm planning on getting a better eye primer because I'm not 100% in love with this one. And I just want to see what else. I think I used to use Urban Decay. That was like a long time ago. So I might get that one again, or I wouldn't mind trying the Fenty one. That one looks good. So I'm just going to put like a dot on each eye, and I am using this Precision Round Brush P82 to blend it out, even though I said I wasn't going to talk about the brushes. Guess what? I am. Only some of them. I probably won't list the brushes down below, but if you guys are curious, I will. And I always do that. So if you are curious, I generally use the same brushes almost in every video, except sometimes I use my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. Sometimes I use my fingers for some parts like you saw with the concealer. Sometimes I use my Tarte Blendiful. So I'm putting this all over the lid, even the outer corners, but I won't put any down below my lid. You could if you wanted to, but I'm just going to stick to my lid. So I'm not going to set that with any powder. I can just go straight in with my shadow. And I think I wanted to do more of a neutral top look and then purple on the bottom. So as neutral as I can get with this palette. The only really neutral colors I can go in with Monarchy, which is here, and maybe Royal Pain. And then Dungeon is probably the next neutral, but I don't know if I want to go that dark. I'm just going to play with the colors and see what works best here. So I'm going to start with an E35 by Sigma. I'm going to go in with Monarchy, and it'll give me that nice transition in my crease. And I will just be going up a tad higher than my crease because I don't have hooded eyes. Really, like you can see a large part of my lid. So if I have any color kind of showing through on my lid, like if I picked a sparkle or something, that will show through, but the transition color always gets lost in my crease because I have such deep set eyes. So I'm going to bring it up a bit more. And I have like quite a lot of room from like my brow to my crease. So I feel like I can get away with that. So you can definitely see that there is color there, that it has kind of created a shadow. It is not really a color at all, and it looks really, really nice. If you wanted to have like just a natural look, even that is nice. But who are we kidding? I'm going to go into color, you guys. I'm going to take a little bit of Royal Pain, but I'm going to start... I actually might mix Dungeon and Royal Pain together. That sounds weird, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to take an E25, this guy right here, and I really want to try out my E27. So Royal Pain and Dungeon. So Dungeon's really dark, but I want to deepen up the outer corner of my eye and kind of stick to the outer crease. I think this is like a dark purple, like almost a dark gray purple. Bring it into the crease just a little bit. And I'm bringing it out just a little bit to make my eyes look longer. I'm going to go back in with that first brush I used and just buff out the edges here. And I want to add sparkle to the lid, but I don't want to go super, super dark. Or pink, actually. I don't even want to go pink. So I might just add some highlighter to the inner part of the lid, because I really wanted to stick with this palette. But I'm going to add purple to the lower lid, so I'm going to go in with that dark purple and then buff it out with a sparkly light purple. But before we do that, I'm going to line my lower lid. I'm going to line my waterline, actually. So this pencil is Lottie by Lottie London AM to PM eyeliner, just in 268 black. So just a light line. I honestly usually go overboard with that anyway. I'm going to take an E15. This is a flat definer. I'm going to go back into my palette. And dip it into Dungeon again. I'm going to blend this in and kind of push it into the lashes, but I'll stick to the outer corner and blend it into the upper lashes onto the upper lid. So I'm going to take my Shy Shader crease. This is an E47. Whoops, as I drop it. I'm just going to tidy up that little edge there. I'm not using it for the crease, but I'm just going to use it right at the corner here. Okay. Now I'm going in with a pencil brush. This is an E30, and I'm going to go in with the shade, I really like Beauty Sleep, but I want to stick to purple, so it's going to be Take the Crown. And normally I would spray my brush with like a setting spray here, but I'm just going to see what it looks like without. And just blend this along my lower lash line. I will maybe use the shade Beauty Sleep, which is this one here, for the top lid. But I'm going to spray that with some MAC Fix Plus. And I'm going to use this large shader E60 brush. And I probably should have used my finger, but that's okay. I can blend it out with my finger a bit, just to blend it into the purple shadow. And I'm just going to take my ring finger again and just kind of blend it out so it's not going all the way across my lid here. I feel like this one came a little far, so I'm going to go back in with that original brush I was using, the E25, and just blend along that line here. I'm going to line the upper lash line now. I'll use my Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid liner. I'm just doing a very thin line. And then I'm going to use my Cala lashes. I can't remember what style they are, but I'm just going to apply glue, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my lips because the glue needs to take time to dry. We're going to go ahead and do mascara, and we'll be right back. Mascara and lashes are applied. I did use my Maybelline Total Temptation in Blackest Black. And like I said, the Cala lashes, can't remember what style, but I think they're like Noir, I believe. And I'm going to go ahead and do lips. I'm going to line my lips with my 09 Spice by Milani Color Statement Lip Liner. This is a brand new one. And the gloss I'm using is my Becca Chrissy Teigen gloss. This is, I believe, it's a glow gloss. Oh, what color is it now? It is called Beach Bum. It's like one of my favorite colors. And I like this one because it smells, they probably all smell like this, but they're like a little minty. Okay, and the last step is highlighter. So I'm going to use a Morphe brush. This is my Morphe M501. I love this one for highlight. I'm going to use my Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2. I love these palettes. I just never seem to reach for them. I'm going to use this one here, just because my skin is a bit more bronzed today. So a little bit on the cheekbone. On the nose. A little bit between the brows for me. And the chin. And of course the Cupid's bow. But what I'm going to do is use a smaller brush. This is another pencil brush. I'm going to go into this color now. Add it to the Cupid's bow. And also the inner corners of my eye. And a touch under the brow. And that is it for this makeup look. And I just noticed my eyelash is kind of coming off. Let's just fix that little bad boy there. Ta-da! All right, we're all done. So yes, my hair is crazy. I'm not wearing earrings. And I'm wearing a baby. She's still here. She's still sleeping. And she's gonna sleep forever as long as I'm wearing her or like I'm holding her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. What I'm going to start doing, if you're interested in like different palettes, I'm going to start leaving playlists based on the name of a palette, kind of like what Angela Bright does, so that if you search a particular palette, you'll just kind of see the video and it'll be right there. And then I want to start doing more like different eye looks with each of the palettes that I have. So I think that would be kind of cool. I probably won't be anywhere near as good as Angela Bright, but I'm going to try. I'm going to start. So until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're new here. I'd love to have you. And please click the little bell notification so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great one. Take care. Bye.